Hello everyone and welcome to IMRT Reviews. I'm RT and today we're doing a spoiler review of Loki episode 6. Apologies for missing episode 5, been rather busy of late, but what I will say about episode 5 is Richard E. Grant, wow, double wow, done an unbelievable job as classic Loki. He killed it. That was a glorious purpose if you ask me. Now, let's talk about episode 6. So, following episode 5, Loki and Sylvie are outside the Citadel and everything looks beautiful. You see the sacred timeline in the background, the special effects are insane, and the shots are full of colour. The special effects in this show are top draw, some of the best I've seen in any show ever. Probably are the best I've seen in any show ever. They are outstanding and they are movie level quality. And quickly want to point out, we're on theme. We've got an Avengers top on. We've got Thanos here, who seems pretty obsolete if you ask me after seeing this recent episode. But we'll get onto that in a second. Loki and Sylvie enter the Citadel and we're greeted by Miss Minutes, who I must say was rather scary and does an unbelievably good job of unsettling the audience before we meet the big bad, upping the tension massively. Like, my heart was going, it was beating. I was like, they pruned Mobius, obviously he came back. They pruned Loki, obviously he come back, he will never die. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, so I was on edge. Next we meet the big bad, the one that remains, and he's played by Jonathan Majors, who does an unbelievably good job in this episode. He goes through so many emotions in such a short space of time, and he has such a display of power in such a subtle way that he's in complete control almost the entire time, and that's a sign of a good villain when you think, oh, he's in control here. The heroes are, they're out their depth a little bit, and I'm loving it. Obviously, this is a different kind of Kang to the one that we've seen in the comics so far. Obviously, we will talk about the other Kang later on in this review, but I must say, this Kang was pretty cool. Kang proceeded to give us some expositional setup for what felt like the rest of the Marvel movie slate. Ant-Man, Quantumania, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Loki Season 2. But it didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel like, oh, here's a setup for all these things. It felt necessary because it's applicable to the story and the journey that our characters are on, where this show is going. So it didn't feel out of place at all. It didn't feel like Thor going into a bath in Age of Ultron. It felt like it was necessary, and it was quite fun as well. It was told in a fun way with these CGI animation things. It was very cool. I liked it, and you get to see Jonathan Majors' great acting ability. Kang gives Sylvie and Loki the option of either killing him and starting the multi-dimensional war that put him there in the first place, but at the risk of a more dangerous variant taking control of the TVA, or they can take his wristwatch thingy and take over the TVA themselves. And, well, some stuff unfolds. This leads to some conflict between Sylvie and Loki, as Sylvie just goes in straight for the kill, and Loki's like, no, listen, we have a big decision here. It could affect the universe at large and not just ourselves. But, Sylvie's on a revenge path, so Loki and Sylvie fight out, and you could see a lot of pain in Loki's face, in his voice, as they fight out, as he doesn't want to fight the person that he loves. And it is great acting from Tom Hiddleston, I must say. He's been superb all season, and it was heartbreaking to watch. But you had Kang in the background, and you can see the thrill on his face, seeing something that he hasn't seen before, because he knows everything that's going to happen, but he doesn't know what's going to happen now. So you see him in the background like, and he's like watching the show like us now. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He's just on the edge of his seat. I really like that, and just watching the background made me less sad about the pain that Loki was experiencing. Then Sylvie and Loki kiss, and I was like, finally, I'm a big fan of that. I've been a big fan of the old romance going on there, so I was happy to see that. And she sends him into a portal back to the TVA, and she kills Kang, which then sends the timeline into disarray, breaches everywhere. And it was awesome to see with the sacred timeline, like the massive one in the background. You can see all the breaches coming off, all the colour. Sensational special effects, I will say, once again. Loki is running around the TVA and he bumps into Mobius. And Mobius doesn't remember anything. He's looking at Loki. He's like, dude, where are you from? What unit are you from? He doesn't remember Loki. Loki looks over to where the Timekeeper's statue was and it's gone. It's replaced by a statue of Kang the Conqueror, who is the far more evil version of Kang and the one that is an infamous foe to the Avengers in the comics. And I'm guessing he's rewritten the timeline or something, which is why Mobius and the other person can't remember Loki. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, I'm not 100% clued up on everything, but that's what I'm guessing is happening. And we're going to see the aftermath of Sylvie's decision in Loki Season 2 and in the upcoming Marvel slate. Now, I loved the ending to this show, as I feel like if they had just defeated the TVA and Kang in one season of Loki, that would have been quite underwhelming to me. Like, Night King in Game of Thrones Season 8 kind of underwhelming. Like, you've got this big bad, it's the most powerful thing we've seen, and then gone in an instant. That would have been extremely underwhelming, but Marvel know better than that, and now we got a new MCU big bad in Kang the Conqueror. We've got new possibilities and incredible new stories that can be told with the multiverse and a Loki Season 2 that I cannot wait for. I'm so happy that they've renewed it for a Season 2. I can't wait to see more Loki Laufeyson. He's my favourite variant of Loki so far. He's been superb to watch. His journey this season has been incredible, and Marvel will just keep fleshing out these characters and making me love them even more. And I don't know how they do it. I think I love a character and they're like, you don't love him enough, and I'm like, okay, I love him even more now, sure. Hats off to Kate Herron, the creator of this show. She done an unbelievably good job with Loki, and it's now my favorite MCU show. Loki number 1, WandaVision number 2, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier number 3, and I mean they're all incredible, so it doesn't really matter, but Loki was something special. And I mean, just hats off to Marvel for just creating 3 incredible shows straight away this year. I cannot wait for Hawkeye and I don't know what Marvel What If and everything coming out next year. It's a great time to be a Marvel fan. So that was my review of Loki episode 6. What a ride this show has been. Let me know down in the comments below what your favourite MCU show is so far. Like I said, mine's definitely Loki, but I mean, they are all great so far. If you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.